Okay, so we've dealt with why focusing on legal skills is important for any young lawyer who is serious about developing an effective legal career. And then we've had a little bit of a talk about the level of commitment that's required, and in particular, just the act of committing to that constant improvement. It's probably time I told you what legal skills we're actually going to talk about. So over the next little while, what we're going to do is we're going to deal with 4 main areas of legal skills. We are going to wrap it up with a few extra sections at the end, but the 4 main areas of legal skills, in my mind, can be lumped into big picture categories. The first is personal professional growth. These are the things that would help you really irrespective of what career you are in. So they're not necessarily legal centric, but they are things that are going to help you deliver faster results, more results, improve your productivity, stop getting distracted by things, and generally approach your legal practice in a way that's going to be more efficient and more satisfying. So, personal professional growth. I sometimes call it the self-help section, but ideally, these are the areas of internal growth and habits and strategies that are going to help you along the way with all of the other things that we're going to focus on as well. The second area, not too surprisingly for anyone, is communication. Lawyers spend vast amounts of time communicating. Some people might say that communication is largely our job in its various different realms. So we're going to deal with communication in some detail. We're going to talk about how lawyers can become effective communicators and the critical parts of effective communication. We're going to be grounded and strategic about this. I'm not going to deal with specifics in this particular series. What I'm going to deal with are the strategies and the underlying foundations of effective legal communication. Now, marketing and business development. These are things that send a shiver down the spines of many lawyers. It is certainly something that most lawyers are not exposed to during the course of their legal training. And so all of a sudden you hit private practice, and at some point, whether it's early on or later, you're expected to be bringing business through the door. And you think, hang on, how? How do I do that? What the heck is going on right now? Nobody showed me how to do this. Maybe you've been paying attention and you see how other people do it, but that doesn't mean you have the skills. So what I will be encouraging you to do is start developing that habit of identifying opportunities and of thinking in terms of relationship development from very early on in your career. Even if right now you have no marketing burden in your firm, I want to encourage you to be thinking about that from the very early days, because the more you can become comfortable with that process and find your sweet spot, the better and more effective you're going to be at developing relationships that are going to be profitable for your firm and satisfying to your clients over the long term. So, marketing and business development. And the fourth and final section of legal skills that we're going to be focusing on here is the business of law, or business acumen. Most young lawyers do not have a good comprehension around how law firms actually make money. What are the pieces of profitability? How do you piece them together? How does A affect B affect C? And how can you, as a lawyer, diligently contribute financially to your firm if you're not in that partnership level? If you're not actually in control of the money, how can you still contribute to it? Because that's a good way of ensuring that you are invaluable to your firm. So those are the 4 main areas of legal practice that we're going to focus on in the balance of this series. I hope you're paying attention. For your homework in this lesson, what I want you to do is, out of those 4 areas, professional growth, communication, marketing and business development, and business skills, why don't you just take a minute? If you have a journal or a diary or a piece of paper or a phone, jot down some skills inside those areas, just intuitively that come to you as I mention them, and think, well, actually that's right, I don't know how to do X, or actually I think I'm okay at Y and I have a good understanding of this. Jot down where your strengths and your weaknesses are in these areas. It's going to help you when the time comes to decide where you're going to put your attention later on.